quarterback is the most important position in all of sports. So when a team makes a big trade for a big-name QB, they better pray it works out. Otherwise, fans are going to be talking about it for years to come.
We have our first trade of the night. It's the Bears moving up one spot.
The Chicago Bears select Mitchell Trubisky,
Whoa!
quarterback, North Carolina.
Few things spell boom or bust as much as a blockbuster trade involving a quarterback. If the risky trade pays off, however, you look like a genius. But if it fails, well, that's a whole new story. Here's a look at the 5 best NFL quarterback trades of the past decade and 5 of the worst. Best: Matthew Stafford to the Rams. How else could we start off this list? All Matthew Stafford did in year 1 with the Los Angeles Rams was lead them to a Super Bowl 56 championship. In January 2021, the Rams and Detroit Lions agreed to a blockbuster trade that would finally allow Stafford to play for a contender. LA received Stafford in exchange for starting quarterback Jared Goff, 2022 and 2023 first-round picks, plus a 2021 third-rounder. Rams head coach Sean McVay no longer trusted Goff to run his offense. He believed his team was one simple quarterback upgrade away from winning it all. And boy howdy was McVay McRight. Stafford threw for 4,886 passing yards and 41 touchdowns, the latter tying his career best. He formed instant chemistry with Cooper Kupp, who won the receiver triple crown. Stafford was lights out in the playoffs, completing 70% of his passes for 9 touchdowns and 3 picks. He sent Tom Brady into retirement and orchestrated a clutch game-winning drive against the Cincinnati Bengals in the Super Bowl. Fittingly, that drive ended with a touchdown strike to Kupp. The Rams could go 0-17 in the next 5 years with Stafford, and the trade would still be considered a success. LA's all-in approach on Stafford paid off with a championship. What more could they ask for? Worst: the Sam Bradford-Nick Foles swap. This trade was rather surprising at the time. The St. Louis Rams looked committed to building around 2010 first overall pick Sam Bradford long-term. Nick Foles went 14-4 as the Philadelphia Eagles starter over the 2013 and 2014 seasons, seemingly establishing himself as the long-term starter. Yet, in the 2015 offseason, the Rams agreed to send Bradford and a 2015 fifth-round pick to Philly in exchange for Foles, a 2015 fourth-rounder, and a 2016 second-round selection. Chip Kelly seemingly had big things in mind for Bradford, believing he could elevate this offense to another level. Though the oft-injured QB managed to start 14 games in 2015, he had just 19 touchdowns against 14 picks. Bradford also fumbled 10 times as the Eagles finished a disappointing 7-9. The Eagles eventually traded Bradford to the QB-needy Minnesota Vikings in 2016, months before taking Carson Wentz with the number 2 selection. As for Foles, well, he didn't get much going in St. Louis, completing just 56.4% of his passes for 7 touchdowns and 10 picks, while losing 7 of 11 starts. The Rams would take Jared Goff with the top selection in the 2016 draft, which led to Foles' subsequent release. Best: Chiefs pair Alex Smith with Andy Reid. The Kansas City Chiefs finished with football's worst record in 2012. They wasted no time in making a splash, hiring longtime Philadelphia Eagles head coach and future Hall of Famer Andy Reid to serve as their new leader. The only problem? Well, Kansas City now needed a quarterback, and the 2013 draft was lacking in quality prospects. Colin Kaepernick emerged as the San Francisco 49ers starter and led them to a Super Bowl 47 appearance, making veteran Alex Smith expendable. So, the 49ers traded Smith to Kansas City in exchange for a 2013 second-round pick and a 2014 conditional pick that became a second-rounder as well. Together, Reid and Smith brought a frustrating football franchise back to relevance. Smith led Kansas City to 5 winning seasons during his 5 years there, including 2 AFC West Division titles, 1 playoff victory, and 4 postseason berths. Smith earned 3 Pro Bowl nods during his time in KC, leading the team to 4 double-digit win seasons. He went 50-26 as their starter and had 102 touchdowns against just 33 picks. As a bonus, Smith proved to be a valuable mentor to 2017 first-rounder Patrick Mahomes, who took over as KC's new starter in 2018. Worst: Broncos swing and miss on Joe Flacco. The Denver Broncos were coming off a third straight non-playoff season, and it is largely due to the team's ongoing problems at quarterback. In the 2019 offseason, John Elway took a chance on longtime Baltimore Ravens starter Joe Flacco, who had lost his starting job to rookie and future league MVP Lamar Jackson. Elway acquired Flacco from Baltimore for the low price of a fourth-round draft pick. 2 months later, Denver drafted Missouri QB Drew Lock in the second round. Elway raised eyebrows when he compared the Flacco-Lock situation to what the Green Bay Packers had in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. Well, Flacco lost 6 of his 8 starts and had a mere 6 touchdown passes against 5 picks. Hardly Favre or Rodgers-like. Lock ended up taking over the offense and finished his rookie season on a strong note. Of course, he did fail to build on his stellar rookie campaign and wound up being sent to the Seattle Seahawks in a package deal for Russell Wilson. Elway was convinced that the Super Bowl 47 champion and MVP would serve as a capable bridge option to Lock. Yeah, well, that plan sure failed. Best, Cardinals gamble on Carson Palmer. After a lackluster 2-season stint with the Oakland Raiders, Carson Palmer's days as a starter appeared to be finished. But the Arizona Cardinals, who had just hired quarterback whisperer Bruce Arians to be their new head coach, were willing to take a chance on Palmer. In the 2013 offseason, the Redbirds acquired him from Oakland for a 6th-round pick and a conditional 7th-rounder. Although Palmer struggled with turnovers during his season in Arizona, the Cards finished with a 10-6 record and just narrowly missed out on the postseason. Now, 2015 is when the Palmer trade really paid dividends, as he had an MVP-like season with 4,671 yards and 35 touchdowns against just 11 picks. Arizona finished 13-3 and went all the way to the NFC Championship game, where they fell to the Carolina Panthers. Palmer went 38-21-1 over his 5 seasons in Arizona, tossing 105 touchdowns while racking up 15 game-winning drives. That's pretty good for 2 late-round picks if you ask us. Worst, Miami makes move for Josh Rosen. The Cardinals drafted UCLA product Josh Rosen with the number 10 selection in 2018. However, new head coach Cliff Kingsbury desperately wanted Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray. Arizona took Murray with the top selection of the 2019 draft and traded Rosen to the Miami Dolphins in exchange for their 2019 second-round pick and a 2020 fifth-rounder. For the QB-needy Dolphins, it seemed like a worthwhile gamble at the time. Unfortunately, it wasn't. Head coach Brian Flores decided to use journeyman Ryan Fitzpatrick as their starter for most of the season. Rosen just started 3 games and only made 6 appearances. He completed 53.2% of his passes for 1 touchdown and 5 picks. The tanking Dolphins ended up with the number 5 pick in the 2020 draft, which they ended up using on Tua Tagovailoa. Best, Titans revive Ryan Tannehill's career. The Dolphins decided to begin a massive rebuild in 2019. That meant replacing Adam Gase with Brian Flores as head coach. Next order of business was moving out injury-prone quarterback Ryan Tannehill, who is decent but never great in South Beach. Looking to clear out his salary, Miami happily traded Tannehill along with a 6th-round selection to the Titans for 2024 and 2019 7th-rounders. Tannehill took over for a struggling Marcus Mariota in Week 6 of the 2019 season. Mike Vrabel subsequently named Tannehill the starter, and the rest, as they say, is history. Tannehill won 7 of 10 starts, completing 70.3% of his passes for 22 touchdowns and only 6 picks. The Titans snuck into the playoffs as the number 6 seed. Then, they upset the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots before humiliating MVP Lamar Jackson and the top-seeded Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round. Unfortunately, Tannehill's Titans ran out of magic in the AFC Championship round, falling to Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. For his efforts, though, Tannehill was named the Comeback Player of the Year. And, proving it was no fluke, he led Tennessee to consecutive AFC South Division crowns in 2020 and 2021. Not bad for the price of just a 4th and 7th round pick, huh? Worst, Panthers strike out on Sam Darnold. The number 3 selection of the 2018 draft spent 3 forgettable years with the New York Jets. But it was easy to blame Darnold's shortcomings on Adam Gase and the dysfunctional organization. Surely, the right team would find a way to make it work with Darnold, right? Well, not if that right team is the Panthers. In the 2021 offseason, the Panthers acquired Darnold from the Jets in exchange for a 2021 6th-rounder plus 2022 2nd and 4th rounders. The change of scenery, unfortunately, did nothing to help Darnold. After winning his first 3 starts in Carolina, he crumbled big time. Darnold went 1-7 over his final 8 starts, finishing the season with a 59.9 completion percentage, 9 touchdowns, and 13 picks. Darnold also fumbled 9 times. Woof. And to think they could have taken Mac Jones or Justin Fields with the number 8 selection in the 2021 draft. To make matters worse, Carolina decided after the trade to pick up Darnold's 5th-year option, which cost them $18.58 million. Ay. Best. 49ers land Jimmy Garoppolo from Patriots. In 2014, Bill Belichick used a second-round pick on Jimmy Garoppolo. The plan, presumably, was for Jimmy G to succeed Tom Brady in Foxborough. That didn't end up happening. Brady kept fighting off Father Time to the point where Bill Belichick had to give up on the whole succession plan. Ahead of the 2017 trade deadline, he sent Garoppolo to the San Francisco 49ers for the bargain price of a 2018 second-round pick. Garoppolo turned heads by winning all 5 of his starts to close out the 2017 season in San Fran. His 2018 and 2019 seasons were lost because of injuries, but in his 2 fully healthy years with the 49ers, he found plenty of success. 2019 was a 13-win season and trip to the Super Bowl, where he was just 1 throw away from leading San Fran to the Lombardi Trophy. 2021 was a 10-win season with upsets over the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. San Fran reached its 2nd NFC title game in 3 years, narrowly following to the eventual champion Los Angeles Rams. Over 5 seasons, Garoppolo went 31-14 in San Fran. Call him a system QB if you want, but wins are wins. 2 conference championship games and a Super Bowl appearance are no joke. Worst. Colts go all in for 1 year of Carson Wentz. Following Philip Rivers' retirement, the Indianapolis Colts once again needed a new starting quarterback. Carson Wentz sought a trade from Philadelphia following a nightmare 2020 season, and the Colts were willing to move in and acquire him. In the offseason, Indianapolis took on Wentz in exchange for a 2021 third-rounder and a 2022 conditional second-rounder that turned into a first. Wentz's stat line looked good on paper. A 62.4 completion percentage, 3,563 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, and only 7 picks. But Wentz had the fortunes of playing with 2021 rushing champion Jonathan Taylor, and behind one of the league's best O-lines. When it came to playing against elite teams, Wentz crumbled. He made costly mistakes in close games and absolutely fell apart in Week 18 in a winner-go-home game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wentz's humiliating performance against the league's worst team in the final week of the season cost the Colts a playoff spot. Fed up with what he had witnessed, GM Chris Ballard and owner Jim Irsay decided to cut their losses after 1 year. In the offseason, Wentz was traded to the QB-needy Washington Commanders in exchange for a 2022 second-rounder and a conditional 2023 second-rounder. The teams also swapped 2022 second-round picks as a part of the deal. So in short, Indianapolis gave up 2 high picks, including the number 16 selection from 2022, for 1 non-playoff year with Wentz. Needless to say, that is not the type of return they were hoping for. But which quarterback trades do you think were the best? And which ones do you think were the worst in NFL history? Did we miss anyone? Join us in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching and we'll see you guys next time.